Hey, church family. I wanted to take this opportunity to present you with another word of encouragement as we continue to pray for the end of this pandemic. Now, you might like to know this, that there are 18 vaccines currently being examined with human trials. And while these studies are still in the early stages, there is hope that a vaccine might be available by the end of the year. But until then, we can rejoice in knowing that the fatality rate of the coronavirus is continuing to drop. And while there are several possible reasons for this recent drop in the fatality rate, it's more important for Christians to remember that the devil can't take one day from us that the Lord has prepared for us. I like the way that Job put it in Job chapter 14. It's there where he declares, "A person's days are determined. You have decreed the number of his months and have set limits he cannot exceed. So look away from him and let him alone till he has put in his time like a hired laborer." Now remember, Job was a man who had experienced an incredible amount of difficulty, especially after suffering the tragic death of his children. And not only that, but he was also afflicted with painful boils from the top of his head to the soles of his feet. And it was in response to all those tragedies that Job goes on to declare this. He says, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." Wow. As we consider the incredible faith of Job, I encourage every Christian to realize that the Lord has determined the days that he has allotted for every person, and the devil can't take that away from us. It's for this reason that Job, he goes on to declare this. He says, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." Even if the Lord slays me, even if the Lord claims my life, if the Lord ends my life before I was ready, yet will I trust him. I like the way that Paul addresses this idea of God giving us the time that he's allotted for us. It's in Acts chapter 17. There he tells us that the Lord has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings so that they should seek the Lord in the hope that they might grope for him and find him, though he's not far from each one of us, for in him we live and move and have our being. Christian, listen, our life, every day of our life, it's in the Lord's hands. All of our days have been numbered by our Creator. King David confirmed this in the 139th Psalm, where he declares this. He says, "All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." In other words, the Lord has already ordained all of the days of our life. Now, with that being the case, we can rejoice in knowing that Christ Jesus, he has more authority than the coronavirus. We can look at the infection rates, and we can look at the fatality rates, and we can look at all the information, and we can see how fast this thing spreads. And yet at the end of the day, Christ Jesus has more authority and more power than the coronavirus. The coronavirus can't rob us of a single day that the Lord has determined to give us. And it's for this reason that I encourage every Christian to follow in the footsteps of Job by declaring, "Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return there. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." The fact is this: we're all going to die at some point in time. It's true. We're all going to die at some point in time. So the question that we really ought to be asking is this: am I faithfully running the race that the Lord has set before me? Or am I fearfully running from the things that might harm me? With this question in mind, I encourage every Christian, let's make sure that we're prayerfully making decisions so that we can make the most of the time that the Lord has given to us. And in this way, we will continue to fight the good fight of faith, all for the glory of God.